Good evening, everyone, and welcome to News Wrap Up on Nasferic TV. Well, the face-off between the Emir of Kano, Aminu Adubayero, and Airline weekend deepened as the Emir issued a 72-hour ultimatum to the airline to apology or face the consequences over the alleged disrespect. Well, recall that face-off started when the Emir and his entourage had a connecting flight to Kano to catch up in Lagos from Banjul, but was behind schedule due to a delay from departing from Banjul to Lagos by same airline. Well, it was alleged that the Emir and his entourage pleaded with the airline management to delay the flight takeoff as a respect for the Emir, but the airline declined. Well, the chief protocol officer to the Emir, Issa Bayero, had written a letter of complaint to the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, seeking punitive actions against Airline for what he tagged disrespect to the Emir and the people of Kano State. But in a reaction, Airpeace, through its chief operating officer, Tony Olajide, insisted that the airline did not disrespect the Emir as alleged, but protected the image of the Emir from ridicule. However, the matter took another dimension weekend when the Bagan, who doubles as cousin of the Emir, issued an ultimatum to the airline to apologize or face the consequences. Uncle Mushti, what do you have to say about this?
Well, if you look at it very well, perhaps the Emirate Council, that is the Emir and his office, they are looking at it from the angle of the Emir being an Emir. But there's more to that. More to that in the sense that there is breach of an agreement. Breach when you process a ticket to fly on an airline, you have entered into a contractual agreement which terminates when you get to your destination. That is the next airport that you are supposed to be. But in this case now, according to the statement, he said the Emir, they flew from Banjul to Lagos with the connecting flight, the same airline,
yes,
to Kano, of which their flight was delayed in Banjul, Gambia, for an hour. Because in view of that, they decided to say, okay, they arrived late. They could not get or meet up with their schedule of the flight. So they now pleaded with the airline to say, okay, delay this flight so that we can meet up. Of which the airline itself said, look, already the airline, people have boarded the plane.
And it's about to move.
And it's about taking off.
Yeah.
So we cannot delay it. Ordinarily, what they ought supposed to do is to arrange their ticket for the next available flight to bear the cost. But according to the other statement, they said they approached them, they didn't offer them any of that. Rather, they told them that they should bear the cost at their own. The Emir's and his entourage, they should bear the cost. I believe that is where the disagreement comes by. So, and this kind of situation, it needs careful handling. If you observe very well, it became a matter of the media. Media, once it's a case like this become a matter of media, you will see different narratives,
Yes.
different interpretations. Some other people are looking at it from the angles to say, okay, the Emir is full of himself, he wants to delay flight. Like, you understand, these are different scenarios, you understand? But I can tell you, Dio, that look, this matter, it will come to a point whereby Chief Onyema himself and the management of Peace Airline, they will go to the Emir's palace and tender apology.
Apologize.
When they tender that apology, media will not follow again. Media will not report that part again. But certainly, they are into business to make money. You understand? The Emir is not just a mere person. He's very influential. Even if there are other airlines, he has the capacity it has the capacity to affect the patronage from Kano route. You understand? That is the danger behind it. So I believe that at the right time, there will be amicable resolution of the misunderstanding. I believe it's all about the Emirates. They're not looking for money to say, okay, come and give us money. But they just want to prove a point. That is just to my own PM. So you understand? These are some of those things that you see, they are not normal. Some of these airlines, they go the international route. Is that how they treat the international passengers? No, I don't think so. If they treat them that way, you will discover that they will slam them with a lot of sanctions.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Lala. Well, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja today declined to order the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency NDLEA to release the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP Abakari, who is currently in its custody on bail. However, the court, in a ruling that was delivered by Justice Inyang Ekwo, fixed March 15 to hear the fundamental right enforcement suit the embattled DCP filed to query the legality of his arrest and continued detention. Well, Justice Ekwe held that Carey's application for bail was overtaken by events, noting that a sister court had already granted the NDLEA the permission to detain him for 14 days pending the conclusion of the investigation. He held that Carey's bail application could not be granted since the order for his further detention emanated from a court of coordinate jurisdiction. Well, Justice Ekwo said he would only hear the applicant's fundamental rights suit after the expiration of his 14 days detention period. So, why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because in this case now you are seeing a big man, a big man passing through some of those ordeal of the ordinary people.
And he's been tossed to and fro.
And he's been tossed to and fro. You now discover that this is someone that used to lock up people, criminals, and he's been given same treatment that he's given to that he was fond of giving to others.
Is that Kama?
So you now discover that he's right there in the detention. He's biting his finger. The anger alone contribute to the trauma he's passing through. Understand? Look at me.
Chronic diabetes.
DCB Abakari. I'm in detention. I that I used to lock up people. I that I used to control over 200 policemen. Understand? Well, the judge did the right thing, because if you look at it, another court has already granted NDLA their wishes of keeping him for 14 days. Any other judgment outside that will be an aberration of the law. So keeping him at least is okay.
Well, the United States on Monday today banned all U.S. transactions with Russia's central bank effective immediately. Well, the Treasury Department said it unveiled an unprecedented sanction to further punish Moscow for invading Ukraine. It will severely limit Russia's ability to defend the ruble and prop up its economy. This new move, along with others taken by U.S. allies, will make it hard for the Russian central bank to use its vast reserves of hard currency to buy rubles. Transactions to defend the ruble, which is now plummeting, will no longer be possible, and Fortress Russia will be exposed, said a senior administration officer. The official said the package of coordinated sanction will create a vicious feedback loop. Well, that step.
Well, if you look at it very well, certainly the Russian economy will suffer it. I believe by now President Putin will be regretting, because Russia is being isolated worldwide now. As it is now, it's being isolated. both the neighboring countries, they have closed their airspace from Russia. Russia cannot access them again. It means Russia Airline have to spend much money if they must fly. That is one. They have been suspended from the suite. That is kind of like in our own case here that we have a visa and a value system whereby all other banks are connected to it. So they have been suspended from that. Several other sanctions because of the invasion on Ukraine. Whatever it is, Russia economy would not get back soon. That's Russia has over $600 billion in their foreign reserve. So that money, they won't be able to access that money as it is now. Their economy will suffer a heavy toll due to the sanction. Well, let's see how it goes. On the Ukraine, they are not doing too well, and the economy is in jeopardy at the moment as we are speaking now.
Well, still on Russia and Ukraine, well, Ukraine demanded an immediate Russian ceasefire and troop withdrawal on Monday today as a Kyiv delegation arrived for talks with Russian negotiators on the fifth day of the Kremlin's offensive against the country. He also demanded an immediate European Union membership for Ukraine. Well, the federal government says its embassies in Romania, Hungary, and Poland have safely received 256 Nigerians that arrived from Ukraine through their respective borders within the last 24 hours. Gabriel Aduda, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who disclosed this in a statement today, said they are expecting another batch of about 200 into the city of Budapest today. He said 130 were safely received at Bucharest, Romania, 74 at Budapest, Hungary, and 52 at Warsaw, Poland, where 23 are being processed at the Polish government reception point. Isn't that an improvement?
It's an improvement. We should give kudos to the government and the embassies too.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for staying with us on News Wrap Up. Do have a wonderful night. I am Dayo Lujoy Kuni. Thank you so much, Uncle Mustilala.
You're welcome.